Welcome back. Let's talk more about Mas Oyama and also your training in Japan with Mas Oyama. I think you trained with Mas Oyama for over 3 years. Maybe you could talk more about that training.
Yeah, one of my main intention to go to Japan and my dream was to train under Sosai Oyama like any other Kyokushin or full contact karateka's dream. Uh, by God's grace, I was able to reach in Japan and I was able to train with him on a long years. Sosai Oyama, during when I was there, he was almost 69 years old. But even then, we can understand his energy, his strength, his power, his dedication, and the way he teaches. He teaches like any other youngsters in that age as well. He used to train with us maybe 3 hours regular class and all the techniques, and he also will repeat along with us. And he always emphasizes on the importance of importance of continuing the training. You're not supposed to stop at any point, whether you are not supposed to cancel any class. It may be raining, it may be winter, it may be summer, whatever obstacles on the way. As a karateka, you should avoid all these things and come to the dojo, wear your dress, karate dress, and start training without any fail. And he always emphasizes training on the basics, the kihons, and he will directly supervising all these things. And I have seen him leading the grading for the Dan test. I have attended 2 Dan tests during my stay there. I got my second Dan and third Dan in Japan directly by Sosai Oyama. And his way of testing a person is also very interesting. And it is not just your physical fitness he checks. He always checks your technical skill, your perfection, your interest, how you perform, how you execute, and the overall performance is always considered, including your stamina, your behavior pattern, and how you respect your seniors, how you associate with them, and all these things he watches very regularly. He watches all these things, and then only he will give the results. And Sosai Oyama visited India once, and that was in 1993. He visited Kolkata only once, and we tried to bring him to India, and he was ready to come also, but unfortunately he died in the year 1994, April 26, at the age of 71, and that dream is still unfulfilled for all of us.
So, how do you see the changes in the sport in the last 40 years? You talked about a little bit early on about not having the right kind of infrastructure, the equipment, and the gear needed to train. So, what has changed in the last 40 years since you started? Since you came into the space.
See, I can say from 1982 itself. In those days, we don't even have a proper training hall. So we always used to train in the open air because those days this was not accepted by everyone, and we were not even allowed to get or even hire a hall and things like that. So those days we used to train outdoor, and you will not find even in the remote villages in India these days. Almost everywhere it is indoor with floor mats and mirror and punching bags and pads and everything. And most of the dojo instructors, they are it's a livelihood for them. They make a living out of it. And those olden days, it was very tough. And you will have only a few members in the dojo, especially in full contact karate. You are not a salaried person, and you have to fully depend on your own other income to be in the karate field, you know. And nowadays it is totally different, and there are very rich people in India, especially in sports karate, and they make good money out of it. And maybe it has gone to a negative extent, you know, that it is for some of them, it is just like a money-making profession, and that we find it in India as well. It's all over the world, but in India as well. So, if you need a dan or a second dan or whatever, there are people who misuse this their position, and they just throw these dans to them for money. So that is also there, and these are the major difference I find. You know, only we find these days only very few organizations doing properly what our society have intended to do or intended to give to the youth. But in olden days, it was different.
Mm-hmm. So, talking about India and sports and sports sponsorships, for instance, we see major sponsorships for for cricket and even football. Are you seeing more and more businesses and business sponsorships for karate tournaments and the sport in general?
Oh, that's that's a difficult question to answer. In fact, sports it's in India is considered as cricket only, and then football. Recently football is also getting some kind of support from the sponsors, and you know, public attention also coming to the football also once it is started with the professional clubs level. See, karate is, first of all, it is not unified. There is no unified organization for karate. So different organizations exist with their own funding method. And the karate tournaments, especially when we go with the full contact karate tournament, even though people are very much interested to see the fights, to see the feel, to see the ambience and everything inside the stadium. The public or the business sponsors or the corporate companies are not very keen to enter to this area so far. But we hope in the near future we will be getting involvement from this side as well. For example, our world tournament in Japan, we always have very good sponsors. And next month, November 11 and 12, KYOKUSHIN RYU, we have our first world tournament in Philippines, Manila. And we have reasonably good sponsors to cover the cost and other expenses for the participants and the fighters and the other overall cost of the event. We hope everything will be in line soon, and we expect more from the government side, because in India, in that regard, there are 2-3 organizations of no contact karate. One is KAI, or Karate Association of India. Then it is KYO. They have changed this to KYO, Karate India Organization, under different groups. And KYOKUSHIN, in this regard, we have started an organization called FKO, that is Full Contact Karate Organization India. And the main intention for this initiative is to organize all the full contact karate styles to bring them under one umbrella, so that the central government or the sports department of India and the similar organizations in other country with their sports ministry could support full contact, and also sports or semi-contact, traditional, whatever differences, different groups with financial and other support.
Mm-hmm. It's good to learn about how karate has changed in India over the years, and the interest or the increasing interest from the sponsors, though you are still not gotten to a pace, to a point where the sponsorship is like what you see for cricket or other sports. But
Exactly.
let's continue this conversation after a small break.